Hello everyone, again. Welcome to this live webinar. My name is Amiram Salem and with me is Joseph Zargari. How are you, Joseph?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Okay, so we're just going today talk about one of the most important modules in SysAid called password services. And password services actually is one of the effective and very exciting modules, of SysAid. And we're gonna explore today with you this module. Joseph here going to speak about technical details. He's gonna show you all the system from inside, how you can manage all the things with the password services. And let me just say to you, I can see there is a lot of people joining us right now. I didn't say, but I would like to thank you, each one of you, to join us to this webinar today. We're in SysAid. Very appreciate this joining. This webinar is only meant for you, our customers, to learn about the newest feature in SysAid. So stay with us. You've got a lot to learn today in this whole webinar. So before we get started, only one reminder. In the page that you actually see right now, there is a small icon on the right side of the screen for the chat. You can see a chat icon over there, and all our SysAid experts are right in the chat right now. So they are expecting your questions. They will answer you everything that you will ask. Some of the questions they will bring to us to hear for a live broadcast this questions. So if you want to ask us anything about the password services, about everything that you see interested, you can do it right from this chat icon. And tell you something very small before we begin. This webinar is actually a part of a platform that when SysAid create called SysAid Academy. And SysAid Academy is actually a platform meant for you, also the customers. And under this title, there is this live webinar of the password services. So SysAid Academy is actually, you're gonna hear about SysAid Academy a lot. We're doing a webinar each month. Okay, so now you're in this webinar, but we're going to do it on a monthly basis. So I will hope you, everyone that in here right now, will join us again to our upcoming webinars. So we will very happy, of course, me and Joseph and all SysAid company will very happy to see you in our next webinars to come. So just before we start, we just created a small movie that I was myself an actor with this movie. So if worth watching, you will see some little part of the password services. So stay with us. Stay with this small clip that we created. Enjoy, and hope to see you again after this small clip. Thank you very much. Great movie, as I said. We had a lot of fun to doing that movie. Very funny movie. We hope you will see it again. It's very funny movie. So I hope you all see these actors in our upcoming webinars, so they could actually play another time, and to show you their actor skills. So right now I'd just like to talk about what is a password services module. And what is SysAid's password services module is a solution that allows the end user to securely reset their password and unlock their accounts without intervention from the IT staff. And this is dramatically reducing the number of service requests submitted by your end users. Allow your IT staff to actually focus on more and more challenging tasks that occur during the day, and help your end users avoid delays, all the small delays that actually preventing from you, the IT administrator, to resolve this password issues during the day. And actually you don't need the IT staff to respond. The end user is doing all there by himself. So raise both your admins and end user satisfaction while keeping them productive. So this is actually all about password services. You can automate your handling of password management service requests and start reducing your help desk calls. Start from today, start from this webinar. You will see how you can do these things properly with the password services module. So I would like to present you a small presentation that I created with about the SysAid password services. And let's just say you are this IT administrator here. Okay, you can see is very frustrated, Joseph, this IT guy. He looks nervous. He looks up early in the morning. You get up to work, and suddenly, without no further information, he got all these peoples right over here are just asking him all kind of questions with the mail. I just do it again. Okay, these small questions, that you can hear around the day. Can you reset my password? My account is locked. Please unlock it. Please reset my password. Blah blah blah. And he's just, he's confused, and he have another tasks to do during his work and his day. And probably you very recognized with this IT manager, because I remember these things happening even to me as an IT manager. So actually these things happen, as you know. So that's why he's not alone, because you can see that 60% of the calls of the service requests that during the day are other calls, but the 40% service requests and issues that an IT manager need to handle by researchers that did this research, are 40% about reset password. 40% of calls to the typical help desk are actually related to password reset or lockout. So this is a huge amount of time, and this is a huge amount of things that actually the IT administrator need to handle with. So let's take this 40% of time and actually take them and enroll them to actually very, very important other things besides the password reset and all this related service requests that related to the password reset or lockout. So actually, when SysAid thought about this matter and thought about this huge percentage about password reset, and that's why we actually want you start from today to actually save money and buy time. Because if you save your money and if you buy your time, you can do a lot of things with your time, because the time is the most valuable thing that you may have during your work. And if you save your company some money, it's great, but time is all you need. As Napoleon says once, give me time, but ask me anything but not time. So this is actually how you can save your time. And when SysAid thought about this matter, and that's why we created actually the SysAid password services. And the SysAid password services, as you can see here, have two main, as I say, two main kings in this equation. This is the icon. Remember this icon of password self-service right here. This is a very important icon, as you can see. We'll talk about this icon. Joseph will talk about this icon and what his job of this icon. So, as I said, there is two kings of this service. As you can see, the first king right here, I call it a king because it's a very, very important thing, the unlock account. As you can see here with a small crown, there is only 3 steps that Joseph, we're going to talk about each step during this webinar, but you can see it's very simple, only 3 steps, and unlock account is actually as its name. Okay, if someone locks his account, you can unlock his account with this action. And right here you can see the reset password. Only four levels that you need to do. Okay, you only need 4 steps. This 1 step, 2 second step, and 3rd step, and 4th step are very easy. Believe me, I'm going to show you. Joseph going to show you each step, and actually you're going to learn all about this. So another thing that we actually created, in any computer with self-service embedded icon, you can use this feature, this module, sorry, a computer with any colleague using SysAid. Let's go back and you can see this again. Any computer with self-service embedded icon, you can use the password services. Computer of any colleague using SysAid, you can go like Dina went to her, like Ilana, sorry, went to the Dina's computer and did this reset password, and at least and any mobile device by browsing to end user portal. So this is how you can actually go to and use the reset password from anywhere, anytime. Another thing that we created in SysAid is the ROI calculator. The ROI calculator is a very important and small page that we created, and the ROI calculator actually helps you to calculate how money can you return to your company by using the password services. So let's just see this small page is right over here, www.ilian.com/ROIcalculator.htm. You can enter to this ROI calculator even right now. They can enter to this page and find out how much money they can save with SysAid password services. So this is only a small demonstration about the ROI calculator. As you can see in the site, you can see the number of employees, let's say 3,000, and the average monthly wage in US dollars is 3,000, and you can calculate this and you can see the total annual saving in US dollars. So going to this page, as you saw earlier in the red line, go to there and you can see how much money you can actually save. So as I said, Joseph here with us, and thank you for joining us, Joseph. And Joseph actually is going to talk right now about the system as it is, and I'm transferring the camera, Joseph, into you right now, and I hope you will learn a lot and you teach them all they need to know.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you, Amiram, for this presentation. Today we're going to see more in-depth technical information about the new password services module. We have prepared here a system 8.0 with default settings. What I'd like to show is how we can configure that. First of all, on the main menu, when you go into password services, you'll see that it doesn't let you configure that because it says in order to enable password services, you have to configure Ldap integration first. You can click on the link here to get to it, or you can go from preferences, integration, and then Ldap, and do the configuration here. So I'm going to do that real quickly. I don't want to get too much time from the session on this. We're not here to talk about the Ldap integration.
There is a certification to do these things. You can join us also to the certification with SysAid Academy. Only reminder.
One important thing, when we configure Ldap integration, we have to configure that with Ldap over SSL. The new password services module has to have Ldap configured with SSL in order for it to work. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to enable Ldap integration. Click Save on the bottom. And now I can go to Password Services, and I have the option to enable it right here. So two options. As you said, we have two kings. If I want to enable both, I'm just going to check both checkboxes to allow unlock accounts and password reset. I'm going to click Save. One more thing on that window is the script here, that code here. You can use that and embed that into any web page you have, any HTML file, any website or intranet. You can put this to make this little icon here give access to users from anywhere you want to give them access to the password services, and make this accessible for everybody as much as you can. So this is the first setting. Let me click Save once again. And now I want to show you, you've seen on the short clip we made, we've seen Jenny going to reset her own password. She had to answer security questions. Let's have a look at that in a bigger screen. Let me just enlarge my screen here, and we're gonna go to the password reset right now. So first of all, one second, I didn't enable that, I guess. So again, password services, it is enabled. I need to also enable this access for people who didn't log in. So you don't really need somebody to log you into the end user portal to access the password reset. So this is the link. You can click on that and you'll get to the password self-service page. You can use the reset password link and enter all the details. So I'm going to try to do that just like Jenny did. I'm a little bit ahead of myself. Let's log in as Jenny. First of all, Jenny has to answer the security questions. So Jenny needs to go here and click Change Your Settings, and in order to prepare for the day she can't log in, she has to answer two security questions here. First one, I'm gonna ask for employee ID, so I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to retype it, and this is a mandatory question. I cannot change that. I have to answer this question, but I can also ask a different question. For example, I'm going to ask what's your favorite TV program. So I'm going to do House. So now that I answered both questions, I need to enter my current password to confirm again that I'm indeed Jenny, and I need to answer these security questions. Now, the day Jenny forgets her password, she can go into the password self-service page, click on the reset password. Now, when Jenny goes and try to reset her own password, she's going to be asked for these two security questions. So if I answered House and employee ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and also have this little CAPTCHA thing I have to enter, XAS, continue, and now I need to choose my new password. I passed my security questions. Now I have to choose my new password. So I'm going to choose a new password, and as you can see on the bottom, it checks that you meet the password security requirements. So it needs to have 7 characters at least. And if you enable, if you require password complexity, it will also check for that. Let me finish with the password. It also checks that both fields were entered the same way. I'm going to click next, and now my password is reset. That's what Jenny did to get back into her system. So let's go in and take a look at the configuration. I'm going to go back in as an administrator. Again, to password services. And under security questions, you can see all the questions that are configured in the system. Basically, these are the default questions. We also added what's your employee ID and made that mandatory. But if that wasn't mandatory, then Jenny would have the option to choose the two questions she want to answer. Since we made this mandatory, then we force the user to answer this question plus another one from the others. So to create a new question, you can click on the new icon here, enter your question. For example, what's your favorite sports team? I want to make this question visible so that the user can choose that from the list, and I want to make this mandatory yes or no. I'm gonna keep that one as no. So now Jenny can go in and answer another, she has another option to choose from when she answers the question. These are the security questions that the users can choose from. You can enter as many as you want here. You can give the users as many options as you'd like. The configuration of how many security questions are required to be answered are configured here under Settings, Security Questions tab. You need to configure between 2 and 5 how many questions you want to force the user to answer, and how many characters each answer must have. So you can say 3 characters is not long enough. I can change that to 5 questions. To 5 characters, I'm sorry. I'm going to hit apply, and now any user who goes to answer the questions will be forced to enter answers with at least 5 characters long. Other settings are on the General tab. First option here is very important. You have 3 options of password delivery. First option is what we've seen up to now. We're giving the user the option, if they pass the security questions, to choose a new password. That's going to be their password after the process ends. There are 2 other options, which is not to let the user choose their password, but to send them a randomly generated temporary password. It will be sent to them either by text message to their mobile phone or to their email, and that's going to be sent to their secondary email address, because, well, if they can't log in, they won't be able to get to their corporate mailbox, right? So that's why we have the secondary email, and that's going to be sent. I can configure my Gmail account or Yahoo account and get my temporary password to my secondary email. These are the 2 other options that we didn't see. However, if we choose one of those, let's say for example by email, I can choose how long these passwords will be valid for. These temporary passwords have an expiration date. If you don't log in within the next 20 minutes, as it's set by default, it's going to become obsolete. Nobody would be able to use that password, and they'll have to reset the password once again. You have to log in within the next 20 minutes, and you'll be forced to choose a new password, because that's just a temporary password. These 2 settings are for people who are trying to reset their passwords. If they fail for 5 times, then the password services module will block them out for 30 minutes. That's the default configuration. I can say that I only want to give them 3 reset password attempts, and if they're wrong 3 times, maybe block them for 45 minutes. This is going to help us to prevent users from trying to hack into other users' accounts. Furthermore, more sophisticated users may get maybe they can write a special piece of software that's going to automatically try to guess the answers, maybe using dictionary words. So if you do that, then you get a pretty good protection, because every 3 attempts will delay the next attempt by 45 minutes. Furthermore, there's also the CAPTCHA, the little piece of image that we saw. We had to enter the characters and digits. We had to enter those into the text field there to confirm that I'm indeed a human trying to reset my own password. And the last thing here is basically what I had to choose in the beginning, allowing the end user to get to the password self-service without having to log in. Generally, what happened in the short clip we've shown you is that Jenny was unable to get into her computer. She was unable to log in, so she had to ask Dina's assistant. She took her computer, went into SysAid, and reset her own password. If she didn't have Dina, then she wouldn't be able to use Dina's computer, because Dina's computer is logged off or locked. So you can use kiosk computers, public computers, and allow people to get to the self-service, to the password self-service, without the need to authenticate. This is also good if your SysAid is accessible from the internet. You can also use your mobile phone or external computers just to access the login page of SysAid and use that password reset link on the bottom. And I mentioned the code that you can embed into other websites, and talked about making the password self-service accessible from external pages. This is how you can change the image of that. You can upload a new image, and that's going to replace the default image. So these are the settings. Let's go into I'm going to disable all the changes I made. Let's go back into here. I've shown you how to use the password reset option. We had 4 steps. Now, if you go to unlock account, you only have 3 steps. So when you go and enter the username, notice the domain field here is read-only. It's not a text field. Nobody can make changes here to prevent human errors, so that's important. If we click continue, then I need to answer the 2 security questions. If I answer them and enter the right text from the CAPTCHA image, then the next step would just tell me that I succeeded and the account is unlocked. Now, I want to get in again as Jenny. And I want to show you, I didn't know if you noticed that before, we had a red text here. That red text is a customization I made earlier today. I wanted to customize the end user portal and show kind of a little message that's going to be more visible to the end user, inviting them to join in, to sign up for the service, to prepare themselves for the doomsday. If I go in again as a different user, let me go in as a different user, and I go to the end user portal, you can see this was the message that I put in for every user who didn't sign up. So I can click on that link and get to the sign up page. If you want this customization, just contact our customer relations team, and we'll provide you with this customization. So if I log in again as Jenny, we'll see that this doesn't show there anymore. That's simply because Jenny already answered those questions. Let's go in and take a look at what we have in terms of reporting. So under password services, I have a couple interesting things I want to show you. So under notification, I can configure an automatic notification that's going to be triggered every time somebody unlocks their account or resets their password. If you're familiar with the tasks and projects notification or the monitoring notification, you're probably familiar with that concept. You need to configure a notification first, decide what you want to do when that notification is triggered. So I'm going to want it to send me a service request, insert a service request every time a password is reset. So I'm going to name this password reset notifications. I can also define how that service request is going to look like, who it's going to be assigned to, what's the category, everything. And it's going to show me who's the user who reset their password and on what time. These are all variables that are going to be changed depending on the incident. Then if I go back to notifications, I can define that on every password reset, trigger this notification. And you can also set up a filter. Let's say if you don't want this to apply when people from the IT department are resetting passwords, you can just go here, set up a filter for department is not IT. I just don't have departments here, so this is irrelevant for me. I just wanted to show you the example. That's it. Once I click add, I have a notification configured, and every time somebody's going to reset the password, it's going to trigger that notification. One more thing is under Audit Logs. It keeps records of any password reset or you just invert that. Any password reset or account lockout, it's just going to show up in here. For example, this is what happened when Jenny filled out the required security questions, so it logged it right here. Next time when security questions are updated or when somebody resets the password, it's going to show up in here. This one, for example, end user password was successfully reset. This is showing you all the events that happened. You can search for, let's say you want to see when Jenny did anything. You can just search by the name and you'll see all the information about Jenny's account. We also have more reportings on the analyzer. You can just go and we have a new folder here for password services. You can get reports on password resets that occurred, account unlocks that occurred. If somebody attempted anything and failed, you're also going to see it using this report. And let's say who enrolled and who didn't enroll. So if you want to see who didn't enroll, then maybe catch them when you see them out on the hall and tell them, hey buddy, sign up for the password services. You can just get that report and you'll see everybody who didn't sign up in here. This is pretty much it in terms of reporting. I want to see if anybody has an interesting question on chat, anything that came more than once, multiple times. Let's have a look. Okay, we have a few interesting questions. I see that several questions have been asked more than once. I see Oliver asked a question, what happens when they use multiple domains? Oliver says that they have 2 domains and he wants to know what happens if it works with multiple domains. So, okay, Oliver, the answer is that, yes, basically. All you have to do is just go and I'm just going to simulate your scenario and configure a secondary Ldap server. And let's go ahead and enter something here. Let's do Venus. And again, I have to do the Ldap over SSL, so let's save. And click save right here. And now I have multiple domains. Now, if I go in and try to reset a password, you'll see that the domain field, which was before that, it was a text field that was read-only. You didn't have the option to change it. Now it's a drop-down and it's a selection between the 2 available domains. So each user will have to choose their own domain and enter the username, and that way SysAid would know which domain that user is coming from and which domain it needs to reset the password on. So this is how we can configure that for multiple domains. I'm just going to go and log back in and undo the changes. Let's see if we have any other interesting questions. Let's just remove that one first and save. Okay. Second question, Howard. Howard is asking if the new password services module supports Novell Edirectory. So unfortunately, Howard, the answer is no. The answer to that is no. The password services module only supports Active Directory, so Novell, Lotus Notes, any other Ldap directory won't be supported, just Active Directory. This was specially designed for Active Directory. So I hope that answers your question. Amanda is asking if the password gets reset immediately when the process ends, and if it affects any other applications. Okay, Amanda, the answer is yes. It gets affected immediately. Behind the scenes, when the user goes to reset the password, SysAid doesn't do that locally. It connects to the domain controller. It makes the change on the domain controller itself. So any other application pointing to the same domain controller, that they will also be affected by this password reset. So it is immediate, and it is affected. It is affecting other applications. And do we have more time for another question? Yep, I see that we have more time. Alan asked a question that returned a few times, I see. Alan is a customer using SysAid On Demand that's hosted with us. So the SysAid server is out there on the internet, and they access it over the internet. And yes, it is working. Alan, I suppose you already have Ldap integration configured. It's just you're pointing to the internet IP address or host name of your domain controller right here. So if you did configure that, and if it is configured to use Ldap over SSL, so Ldap S and port 636, then it should be working even if your SysAid server is out on the internet. You just need to make sure your domain controller is accessible on the secure Ldap port, and that SysAid is configured to connect using the secure channel. I don't see that we have any more recurring questions. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to the chat now, so if you have a question, I'll be happy to answer them on chat. Thank you very much, Mira, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Joseph. That was a marvelous lecture, and I sure everyone learned a lot from it. So thank you, and I will see you in the upcoming webinars to come, and thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone, so after we heard Joseph Zargari, as I said, one of SysAid specialists, greatest specialist, as I said, and just now I would like to introduce you or to welcome an image that you probably know, Sarah Lahab, our VP Customer Relations, and she's gonna talk right now about best practices. So Sarah, the camera is yours. Enjoy.
Hello everyone, it was a pleasure talking to you on chat up until now. I've answered your question and I ran over here, and I've got a few common questions that have been that people have asked me on chat. But before that, this is the first time I get to talk to you over a live webinar, and it's a great pleasure to be here and to see you. Some of you saw me sorry, in SysAid certification or in previous webinars or in Vegas, and this is great to finally get to be live and to talk to you live and to be on chat. So just to get a few common questions asked on the chat. First, this is a module. Based on the pricing we have provides for module, meaning you pay a fixed price and you get an unlimited use for all your administrator and end users. You can contact customer relation team and get a quote. So you can do that on support at sysaid.com. Send our customer relation team an email and we will be happy to provide you a quote. One more thing is that if you would like to try this module, we will be able to send you a secondary license free of charge for 30 days. Again, you can contact our support at helpdesk@sysaid.com. More than that, I'm sure that all of you have heard about our iPad celebration. If not, this is the time to remind you or to announce to you that we have a raffle, a SysAid iPad celebration, meaning that if you purchase and pay for this module, this specific module, and for a channel for the RCG, which is a new remote functionality, by the end of the month you would be entitled to enter a raffle where we provide one lucky person from you to receive an iPad 2 for all your administrator IT staff. Meaning that if you are licensed currently for 8, 9, 150 administrator and you win the raffle, we provide an iPad 2 for all your administrator listed per your license. So I think this is a great opportunity. I think you should enjoy it. This is a great module. This is a win-win situation. So we encourage you to enter the raffle by purchasing the password services or one channel of the RCG new remote control functionality. If you're familiar with the webinar and SysAid certification, you know that we usually provide best practices at the end of every webinar. This is a useful information we have gathered for you from other installations around the world with other SysAiders around the world. So we have been running with this module for about a month and a half, if you include the beta, because we have beta testers around the world that have tested this module during the beta. So you've gathered information for them, and we provided and we gathered 5 best practices, 5 tips for you, for all the people that are going to try this module. So if you're familiar with the concept we are providing our customers on a daily basis through everything we provide you, through all the information, our methods is saying that if you would like SysAid to be a success, you need your end users on the side. You will need to get them to participate in using SysAid, because this is the only way you're going to get the full benefits of SysAid. And especially in this module, we went through this webinar, we talked about ROI, I'm sorry. And if you would like this to be successful, if you would like everything that we have promised you to come true, you need your end users on your side. And my first tip for you today is 3 questions at the most, meaning that if you would like your end users, that it will not be too difficult for them, that they will remember the question, it will not take them too much time. So provide at the most 3 questions. You would hear this line through everything we say to you, that if it's going to be easier for them to pick up the phone and to get the reset password through the phone, this is what they're going to do. So you needed to make it easy as possible. So we came up with a conclusion that 3 is a magic number, meaning that it's not too much and it's not too and it's not too little and it's not too much. So 3 is our recommendation. The second tip I can give you is that provide as much selection as possible. And I talked to a few of you on the chat and you asked, can we choose for them? Can we enter the answers for them? So based on what we have saw up until now, provide them as much selection as possible, because you need your end user to remember the question. Don't decide for them. Let them select what is easier for them to remember, what the answers will be, what will be the first thing that come to their mind. I also would like to enter a new small tip, and I think this is a great one. Have one mandatory question with their ID number, meaning with if you've gotten a worker ID, this is something they will remember. A phone number, this is something they will remember. Their ID number, this is something that they will remember. So if you would like one mandatory question within those 3 we have talked about, so make it something, a number that they are the only one who can remember. Other than that, provide them, even if you give them a selection of 15, they will go over it only once and select whatever is intuitive for them. Remember always that you need your end users on your side. The third tip I can give you today is implement the HTML, the predefined HTML on password services. If you've got a web-based organization portal, take the predefined HTML. We don't ask you to invent anything. Simply take this HTML, copy-paste. Again, if your end user can do this on a common ground, on something they are familiar with, if some of them don't have end user portal, don't have the use for end user portal, but still log into the web organization portal, so put it there, put it accessible from everywhere. The fourth tip I can recommend for you is Joseph has showed you that we have three methods. You can have your end user reset the password on the screen. They can have received it back by email, by any Gmail or Yahoo account. And the third one is an SMS. I talked with a lot of you on the chat regarding security, and you were a little bit afraid with security reasons. If you're talking about security, getting it back with an SMS, this is the best secured way. Because even if somebody played with somebody else's password, the only one who's going to receive the temporary password will be the one that is currently on this account, as I'm sure that in your Ldap, in your Active Directory, you already have the list of all the phone numbers. Everybody walks around with their mobiles, so this is the most secure way I can recommend it. I can recommend to you, have it defined on returned by SMS, delivered by SMS. The fifth one is that we saw through all the implementation, we have a lot around the world, and we do have a lot. And we talked to a number of people. 20 minutes, I think, is a magic number that we can recommend to you. And I can tell you why. We saw a lot of times that they went and they reset the password and they already asked a question and they went for a coffee. By the time they came back, they need to reset again. So 20 minutes is more than enough to grab a cup of coffee, to go to a discussion with your colleague, to do everything that is needed, and in 20 minutes to be back and reset the password. This is the 5 best practices I can provide to you. I also encourage you to contact our customer relation team. We are all updated. We know this module. We've been implemented around the world. If you've got a difficulty, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, and so on and so on, please contact our customer relation team. We will be happy to do so, because we want everybody to be taking part in the iPad celebration. We would answer you first to make sure you will enjoy it and decide to buy it by the end of the month. Also, I would like to tell you that this is the first free webinar we are doing. We are going to implement it every month from now. We're going to do it with the SysAid Academy and SysAid support team together. We'll be happy to see you every month. It's always going to be a general topics from mobile to ITIL and so on. I ask you to go to the to our website, look for the upcoming events, see whatever you need to, and join our webinars. We'll be happy to see you here. It was a pleasure seeing you all, and it was a pleasure, and I hope that by now it's a pleasure for you to see us, and I hope that you all download and at least try our password services module, and you will enjoy it. So I was very happy to see you here today.
Okay, Sarah, thanks you for the best practices. I'm sure we all learn a lot from you. And thank you also to joining us to this live webinar. As Sarah said, we are doing it monthly basis. So I hope to see each one of you. We all hope to see each one of you in this webinar. So have a great SysAid Password Services experience, and hope to see you again. Have a great, and we are already, Sarah said, we are actually live now at the chat for a couple of minutes more for your questions. So stay with us in the chat, and have a great day.